Good evening, Internet. My name is Lauren Sevier, and today I'm going to be doing something called Where the Heck Have You Been? This is my comeback video that I had to refilm. Turns out that the audio messed up like halfway through my original video, which is actually kind of good because I decided I wanted to do a giveaway. If you're only interested in the information for the giveaway, I will put down below the time mark that you can skip to if you're just not interested on where I've been last few months. So, quick recap. I started my AuthorTube channel like the end of last year after Nano, but sort of around New Year's and stuff. So, I want to say closer to like December-ish, and I filmed like 3 or 4 videos, including my AuthorTube newbie tag, proclaiming all of these goals that I had for the year and all the things that I was going to do and my upload schedule and the content that I was going to be putting out and all of these great things that never happened because life got in the way. So yeah, I put out a couple of videos telling y'all I was going to do a bunch of stuff. I ended up not doing it, and then I just sort of disappeared for a really long time. And I've kind of been like commenting and liking stuff, but just haven't been super involved, via Twitter or Facebook or anything either, all of which is going to be explained in this comeback video. But basically, I wrote the first draft of my young adult fantasy novel, my current WHIP that I'm working on, with the intention that I would have it completely edited by the end of this year and ready to submit or query for a traditional publishing contract. Basically, what happened was my timeline got cut very, very short. I'm actually in a writing competition where I'm going to be bringing my WHIP, my young adult fantasy novel that I'm working on, to compete against 5 other finalists in the hopes of getting a traditional publishing contract. Need to learn to talk. Contract in September, which means my book needs to be done by then. So let me tell you a little bit about how that all came to be. Basically, between the time that I wrote the first draft, I took a little bit of a break, finished a couple of other things that I needed closure on, another project and stuff. And I wanted to be able to have that distance, that healthy distance emotionally from my novel, so that when I came back into the editing phase, I could really look at it objectively so that I would not, feel bad about killing my darlings, I guess. Getting rid of unnecessary characters or plot points or whatever. I could kind of look at it with a fresh set of eyes. I always do that between like the initial creation and writing of a project and then the editing and refining of a project. That's just part of my process. It's what I always do. But I found myself like needing a little extra push, and I was on a newsletter for this writing competition, and they have rolling submissions throughout the year, and basically they sent out, via the email newsletter blast that I was involved in, they sent out a call for submissions for books and debut authors and everything, because they really focus on like authors who aren't yet published, so it would be their debut novel. And I thought, you know what, this place is fancy enough that they're absolutely going to reject me, but they seem nice enough that they're going to reject me with feedback, and that might be exactly the push I need to like light a fire under me for editing this book and getting it ready and meeting my goals, right? So I did like a perfunctory, getting rid of like, a ton of like adverbs that weren't necessary, unnecessary filler words, just cleaned up the sentence structure a bit. Tried to take out some of like my bad habit words, which I'm going to talk about in a video coming up, like was. I have a war on the word was anyway. So I did sort of a perfunctory like sweep of the first 10 pages, wrote a really brief like bio for myself and synopsis, and like cropped my 2 sisters out of a photo of the 3 of us because my hair looked cute that day, and like sent it off into the ether, fully expecting a nicely worded rejection. But what I got was the director of the program calling me personally and telling me that my work had promise and why it had promise, and that it needed a lot of work, obviously, but that he really wanted me to come and participate. So that is kind of what I've been doing. I have been in sort of a cocoon of editing and writing and back and forth with my two editors that I've been working with, coming up with marketing strategy for this book, because, you know, when you market yourself to publishers, it's not just about your book. Sometimes it's about, you know, you as well, and whether or not they think that the book can sell. And so there's a lot that's been going into it. I've actually been working with like cover designers and stuff like that so that I can have a really comprehensive presentation and some readings and like an elevator pitch and stuff ready by the time I go in September. So what does that mean, I guess, for me and for you guys? Well, it means that I definitely need to lean on bulk filming more than I have been. And so I'm going to try and do that and try to get back to like regularly scheduled uploads. Also, I will say this. I sort of fell apart in the month's absence, which is part of why I felt that when my time is so short right now and I'm so stressed out and I have all of these like looming deadlines, that I still needed to come back to AuthorTube, is because y'all know exactly what this is like. Y'all know what it is like to be under incredible pressure with all these deadlines and still have to try and work full time or have a family or a combination of both like me. And I really needed the support of a community, and I needed to be able to reach out and connect with people to help keep me from falling apart again. I mean, about 3 weeks ago, right before I came back, I found myself at work struggling with my deadlines and in excruciating pain with no explanation as to why. One of my coworkers called my boss, and I work in the medical field, so I was just lucky enough that there was an emergency room downstairs, which they sent me to for evaluation. Literally in the middle of my shift, they said, clock out and go downstairs to the ER. You need to be evaluated right away. And it turns out I'd given myself a stress-induced ulcer. So, you know, it has not been easy for me. I normally deal with pressure and stress brilliantly. I'm normally great in a crisis. You have to be in cardiology. I mean, things can go from 0 to 60 like that. But I'd never been, I guess, this spread thin. You know, the thing that comes to mind is when like Bilbo Baggins was telling Gandalf that he feels like a little bit of butter scraped on too much bread. Like, that's kind of how I felt recently. And so that's part of why I'm motivated to come back to this, even though I'm under a lot of incredible pressure and a lot of stress, is because I really needed the support of, you know, people who understood what I was going through. I had to tell my family, like, you know, unless it's life or death, I'm not going to be at social events, and you need to not take it personally. Which they, you know, were very supportive of that. But yeah, so my timeline is short. I'm trying to get my book ready. I am editing frantically in any spare moment that I have. Frequently, that means putting my child to sleep and then staying up until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning working, and then waking up at 5:30 to drive to whatever office I'm going to be at that day. So, like today, my husband was home, and instead of filming this when I had other lights, instead of this one glaring light in my face, and had some natural light, I had to take a little extra time this morning and catch up on some sleep from the week. Honestly, like, I couldn't keep my eyes open after I first woke up and got up and fed and changed my son. And by the time he got home, it was like I was like falling asleep in the chair. He was like, you need a nap. You're not ready yet, not even with coffee. So that's kind of what I've been going on and dealing with, and that was the reason for my hiatus and the reason for my return. I do look forward to actually having more content that will be geared towards, I'm hoping, like writing vlogs and writing journey vlogs and stuff. Also, probably some editing stuff because I'm in the editing trenches pretty hardcore right now, so that's been my focus. And I think that, you know, just any personal insights or anything along that journey, my editor feedback. I also want to tell you guys more about my whip, which I am now going to announce. I am not going to call it my whip anymore. I am going to tell you guys the title since I've changed it like 3 times already, and I finally settled on one that I think I am absolutely in love with. It fits the theme, it fits the setting, it fits a lot of the character arcs and what the characters are going through. It like ties in with a lot of world building stuff, and I've settled on this. My young adult fantasy novel called Songs of Autumn. Hopefully we will win this competition later on this year in September, and we'll be, ready for publication in 2020. In case you're interested. And also, now that I have kind of told you guys a little bit about that, I kind of want to switch the end of this video, and I'm going to make it short because my last few videos have been really long, and I'm trying to make things succinct and to the point these days. But because you actually all have been really kind and supported me a lot and uplifted me a lot, y'all helped me reach a yearly goal of mine that I didn't think I had a shot in heck of even reaching because of my hiatus. My yearly goal was to hopefully have 50 subscribers. I'm well over that now, and y'all have been incredible. So I just want to send lots of love to all of you guys, and the way that I want to give back to y'all is I would like to give away to one of you, drum roll please, a masterclass, all access to a masterclass taught by Neil Gaiman on writing. This is valued at about $90, and I do have it set up where if you comment down below, doesn't matter what it is, it could be hey, it could be, you know what, actually I want y'all to comment down below and tell me the hardest part for y'all with dealing with stress, since that's kind of been the theme of this. How do y'all deal with stress? How do you deal with deadlines and pressure? What's the hardest part for you, or what's a tip for me, because obviously I need it. Comment down below and tell me, you guys. And when you comment, you don't have to do anything else. You don't have to subscribe or like the video, anything like that, but you will be entered into a randomizer, which on June 14th, because it's Flag Day, but also my husband's birthday, and I thought it would be really cute to give you guys something on his birthday as well as giving him something. Anyway, so June 14th will be when this is over, so make sure that you comment down below. Your comment will enter you into the randomizer. And on June 14th, I will go ahead and pick a winner, and I will reach out so that I can get your email address, and I'm actually going to be emailing you the masterclass information and your gift. It's like 19, I think it was 19 mini videos, and he actually does like case studies of short stories and stuff, and there's also printable resources for the course, which I think is amazing. I mean, Neil Gaiman, actually, he just had, and this is not like a sponsored thing for Neil Gaiman, but I just like him as an author. I follow him on Twitter. I follow all his stuff. And he just had Good Omens. His I think it was a book that he had done in a video on Amazon Prime. It's on Amazon Prime right now, but that like just happened because I've just seen it on Twitter here recently. He's kind of been promoting it a little bit, but like apparently it's like premiered. So I thought it would be really cool out of all of the writers to give you guys Neil Gaiman's masterclass writing class, along with the fact that I did put a poll up on Twitter and the Author2 Facebook group, and it was like unanimous that that was what they thought would be a good gift for you guys and me meeting this milestone. So comment down below, tell me either your number one tip with dealing with stress, or the number one thing that you struggle with deadlines and stress. That way we can, I don't know, help each other, uplift each other. It would be really cool if you liked or subscribed, but you absolutely don't have to, but it would be really cool if you did. Anyway, that is where the heck I've been, what I've been doing, and the giveaway information. I hope you guys have a wonderful night.